Hello and welcome back. Welcome back to another live out with our fabulous one-day special. Of course, we continue the celebrations of Clarity's 27th birthday with another amazing deal for you. It is the final one-day special from Clarity during the birthday event, and it is a corker. You have been loving it. You did get a little bit of an insight into some of these wonderful little pockets, the Pergamano pockets. They're absolutely adorable. You are going to love them. And of course, you did see something of them a little bit earlier in the week when we had the Pergamano shows them on Thursday, first Thursday of the month. But enough of me whittering on. We have got fabulous Barbara joining us again during this. It's good to have you again.
Hello, love. It's nice to have your company too.
Oh, we had a lovely hour last time.
It's always nice to work with you, Hayley.
Oh, likewise as well. You know that. I don't need to tell you that you know that. But I have to say...
Well, we go back a long way, don't we?
Yeah, let's just cut it there. Let's not just go into ages and years too much. But we do go back a long, long time. We do. Now, of course, Barbara, we've been talking about 27 years of Clarity. And, of course, who'd have thought all that time ago that starting off with simple stamps, the whole company would evolve and kind of diversify in so many different ways until the point where well, it's still going, but teaming up with Pergamano.
Yeah, well, that was quite a coup, you know, and nobody was more surprised than me when they called and asked us if we'd like to buy them. That never entered my head.
Call very often.
That wasn't on the cards.
But of course, along with working with Pergamano, you kind of learned a little bit more about their legacy because it was a new area for you. But of course, the artwork that Pergamano brought us in the first place, you kind of investigated, and that's what we've got here.
Well, yeah, the reason that well, exactly. You know, one of the loveliest things about joining up with Pergamano was the people that we've met through Pergamano, like Linda Williams, Tina Cox. I mean, there's some fantastic parchers out there. And what's so wonderful is that they've become really dear friends of mine, you know, and ours. And they have, of course, they've shown us the way because I'm not a parcher. I didn't know about parchment art like you did. I didn't. You know, I'm a stamper through and through. And so Linda and Tina and Josie and Emma and all these experts have shown us the way. And the Marina Fedotova artwork was something that Linda alluded to and said, you really need to look at this, Barbara. I think you'll really enjoy it. And so here we are.
Well, that's it, and everybody's enjoying them alongside you, Barbara. Now, we've got 3 different one-day specials, the details of which I'm sure you've already spied on our screen there, but 3 different options. We've got your Whimsy, your Flower and your Christmas. Now, we did see Christmas during our Christmas event a little while ago, but don't worry, I will recap on that one in a few moments. But here you have your Whimsy. And what you will notice with these is you've got 6 large stamps, which you'll find with each of those little bundles we're chatting about. But then you've also got your smaller stamps, which all come together. All 6 characters here. They're absolutely adorable pieces.
They are. I love these. I just love them. And we gave them all names and we've called them Poppets and they all begin with P. So it's Pippa and Poppy and Pippi and Pappy and Pia and Prue, and it's really great. We had so much fun in the office. It was hilarious.
We're waiting for a little boy one called Paul. We need a little boy one called Paul. He's a little poppet.
It did come up that he didn't want to be one of these poppets.
I don't know, I think he could rock a pair of fairy wings there. Now, these are simply adorable. The thing that's beautiful about these is they lend themselves to so many different styles. And that's exactly what we're seeing. The design team have had so much fun, I can tell. I mean, Jane's created something much on a sepia tone, which I think is beautiful. Yeah. But then we've seen the introduction of colours, using them in so many different ways. This one from Sheila. I love this, where she's picked out the colours of the papers.
Yeah, it's so beautiful. And if you like colouring, if you're a colourist, then these are your cup of tea because they're just beautiful for colouring in. And you can go really sketchy. You don't have to indulge them, or you can really, really pull all stops and turn them into beautiful little works of art.
Now they're sitting beautifully. You know, I mean, this is one of your dies. I know we've seen this one before, but it sits in there beautifully.
It's Leonie's. It's one of Leonie's designs, isn't it fabulous?
And again,
so here we are. Look, and how gorgeous is she? And there, of course, she's sandwiched between some designer paper from Toscana.
beautiful. I love those rich colours. We'll be chatting about the designer papers later on, and I do urge you to jump ahead, have a little look. We have got a fabulous deal on the designer parchments, which again I will tell you about later on. But this one is your first option. We are looking at the Whimsies here, and I will apologise. I'm not giving the design team name checks, but Carol, we've seen your artwork there as well. And again, another beautiful scene built there by Sheila with these stamps. Absolutely gorgeous, each and every one of them. So thank you to the design team for your support with these shows. Now, details on your screen there. Whimsy, you will notice one of the options, but we have more options to share with you. So your flowers, and of course flowers for all sorts of occasions, but they're not just flowers. You'll notice we've got additional things featuring in here, things like birthday cakes, all those celebrations that we share with you. And again, another fabulous gathering of little characters.
Yeah, again, Pippa, Primrose, Posy, Petunia, so you can hear the flowers coming through here. But look at these gorgeous little girls. They're just a joy to look at, really. And then the two down the bottom, they're really sort of out in the garden. I love those two, Petal and Poppy. You know, yeah, I think they're my two favourites. I just like these two.
I just love those little bare feet. They're just absolutely adorable, aren't they? Especially when you've got, well, you'll know, you've got your Grace and her little toes. I'm sure when she was a little dinky thing, you used to love those little tiny toes.
I always said that with Grace. She had the most beautiful little legs. They were like, she was the biggest time waster for me. I could just spend hours just staring at her. She was so gorgeous, you know. Still is
Exactly.
very beautiful.
She is. She gets it from her mother, you know. Now you can see here these lovely characters. This is a nice one. We were chatting about this one in the launch hour, and it shows how that larger stamp works alongside the smaller.
Yeah, and you can see the scale as well. You can actually see the size here. And just in case anybody does want to know, the size of the stamps, the printed parchment, all the images are different sizes. So the stamps are not the same size. So they're in between the printed parchment sizes.
Oh, right.
So we've used our heads on that one. So yeah, you get all the different. So if you've invested in the parchment, what you're getting here is different sizes again.
I love it. And of course, with the parchment, it may give you inspiration on where to add those colours, or as you can see from Andy here, not adding any colour at all. I mean, these are beautifully sketchy, which they can carry that look just simply by stamping them out.
They can, especially funnily enough, I've taken Andy's card for the first demo. I wanted to show that these stamps are not just clean, you know, even though they can't, we've put them in under the Parchment Pergamano banner. They work fantastically in mixed media with paint and grunge. They don't have to be really clean and pristine, you know.
And this is the thing that we're talking about. Absolutely adore. I love that, the simplicity. But again, it just looks absolutely beautiful. And I love that little sentiment there. Happy hello cupcake. Now, Barbara, we're talking about licensed images here. So this is important. Are we able to make and sell with these?
Absolutely, yes. So we have it in writing. We did inquire because we wanted to be sure that we always Clarity have only ever done their own artwork, and so it was important that we made inquiries, and it's not a problem provided that you don't go into mass production and you make to sell. We have Marina Fedotova's blessing.
I love that. So yes, stamping, creating by hand and making some beautiful pieces on the way. Now, of course, you've got your third and final set, which is your Christmas set. Now, if you didn't see the Christmas set during our event, it was kind of July time, I think we touched on these. Well, now you are in for a treat. And it might have been that July was a little bit early for Christmas. I'm not going to lie, it's probably a little bit early for me, to be fair. But here you have got these beautiful images as well. Or maybe you got hold of these and you're looking at some of the others to add to them. But again, I love these. Pumpkin Pud as well. Perfect name for one of the little Christmas characters, Barbara.
They're beautiful, aren't they? Absolutely. And Presh, that's my dedication to Linda Williams, because she's Welsh, obviously, and she always calls me Presh. Hello, Presh.
I love it.
So there you go,
short
Linda.
For precious.
That's for you, Presh.
I love it. They're absolutely adorable again. I mean, the artwork, I love this one. Bringing the colour out from the background. Gorgeous.
Yeah, this is one of Dee's, I can tell you at a glance. Dee just has that lovely, grungy, sort of real vintage stamps look. And they lend themselves. I don't do, this is Sam Crow's work. I don't do cute per se. But these to me, look at that. That is so vintage and so fabulous. You know, what's not to love about these stamps? They just lend themselves to all sorts of styles, don't they?
Well, this
I
is
love
it.
this one.
This
See,
is
now
so
this
clever.
is
You've
from
got the
Carol
snow.
Pankstello. Yeah, I asked her how she did it because I wanted to know. And it's done with ultra thick embossing powder, white.
Very
Isn't it
clever.
lovely?
Doesn't it look amazing? But then you could just go simple as is, because it's the artwork that really does carry these off. I love this, making your own wrapping paper as well. Absolutely beautiful,
this is Sam.
through and through. Now, I'm quite
and then
mindful.
look how beautiful that is.
Isn't that gorgeous? Just using those fabulous papers, the designer papers. I'm mindful of the time, Barbara, so we're going to move on from the one-day special because we've got lots to share with you guys at home. And of course, you need to tell them all about those fabulous word stamps that Barbara has put together with her own script as well. Handwritten by Barbara. You have got the most amazing sentiments here. Perfect for everyday situations. The relations, the months and the numbers. 73 stamps. Barbara, I love this script. It looks beautiful.
Well, thank you very much. I write that every day. That's the way I write.
Oh.
And so this was quite an easy set of stamps to design.
I bet it was a little bit weird, actually.
The biggest problem was how many D's in granddaughter.
I love it. And I love it that Kim, who's our producer for this hour, said, that's Barbara's normal handwriting. This is it. I mean, it's not a scribble. It's beautifully put together, beautifully formed.
Well, thank you. And of course, Lucy at work, she and I work together on artwork. So I give her my sketches, I give her my writing, she tidies it up and converts it into beautiful stamp art, you know, so yeah.
She's done a
Teamwork
fabulous...
makes the dream work and all that, Lucy.
Well, this is it. It's all about the team, isn't it? Now, with this set here, you have got your two sets coming to you for just £24.98. As I say, they're going to be one of the most useful sets you could get hold of. So please do treat yourself to these. No, they've been popular throughout the hour. So 225871, very affordable and perfect if you're just getting started. Don't forget, it may be that you've never bought stamps before and you're just getting started in this hour. Well, those fabulous one-day special stamps alongside these, you are well on your way to create some absolutely amazing cards for a minimal expense that will be with you, and you'll be using those stamps over and over and over again. But of course, it's about giving them the backdrops as well, and we can help you with those with these beautiful papers. Now, these are new additions to the range, and you can see here extending those gorgeous papers that you bring to us. We've got Antarctica and Amazonia. Love the names. Amazonia, what a fabulous name, Barbara.
Well, we thought about it for a little while, and then I thought, well, I want to do cold and I want to do warm, and I thought about the world, and I thought, well, where's warm and where's cold? And it's quite straightforward, really.
Now, I know during the last hour we did show the paper, so I'm going to pick up the designer cards. And this, am I right in thinking this is where your kind of artwork started out at this particular size?
This is the size. This is the size of the artwork, yeah. And I use alcohol ink to create these on Yupo paper. So this is, but then we print them. Because if you were to use alcohol ink on Yupo paper as a background, it's very difficult to stamp on, and it's also very expensive to actually make. So I make the artwork, and then we duplicate, we replicate, we print, you know, and it's on top quality card, so it's really beautiful for stamping on.
Well, this
it works
is
really nicely. Yeah, it's good quality.
It is, and it's almost like you're imagining a scene from there. I was rotating some of these as well, because that's a good idea to do, to look at the different areas, because you'll see different things take form when you look at different areas of them.
Absolutely. I want to show you, because I don't know if we'll get to it. Can I show you while you're on that? Let's just fast forward. Can I?
Yes,
because I want to show you a really
please do.
amazing...
What do you want to show us, Barbara?
Right, let me show you this. Right, you ready? Okay, so this, I know, look at that.
Wow.
What? This is Sheila Metzelar's work. And so she's taken this particular art, this artwork here, this is from Toscana, this paper. Okay,
Beautiful.
I saw this and I thought, that is just too gorgeous, isn't it?
I love it.
If you look at that, and then I thought, right, okay. So then what I did was I took one of the ones from the new set.
Is this from Amazonia?
So from your Amazonia, exactly as it is. It's in that pack. And I just stamped the same little girl into this background. Look, isn't she gorgeous? And then I just highlighted her with a few bits of white. Do you remember we said about a few splashes of white?
Yes,
Look.
yeah. Oh, that
There you
is
go.
beautiful.
That's all I've done.
And that just looks
Nice,
so right. I mean, it just looks like a little pond there that she's dipping her little toes into.
Yeah.
Just made, that paper is
so
made for that image.
And the paper's there for you. It's already done. So isn't that, there you go. That's the world's quickest demo ever.
But isn't it effective? This is the thing. Now, I've got a task ahead of me.
Yeah.
I've been asked to see if I can find the paper. No pressure, Kim. Just like that, she's asked me. But there you go.
I can find it for you. I can find it for you. Yeah, you found it. Well done.
It's absolutely beautiful. And I was just, as I was flicking through, there's actually multiple ones. I mean, some of these ones as well, that almost looks like a forest kind of effect.
Isn't it lovely? Thank
Beautiful.
you. I'm so pleased with these, the way they came out, you know. And of course you get in every pack, so say you get 12 different designs and 4 of each. So you can see here you've got multiples of 4. So that's how it works. And then the favourite papers, the ones that it's not that they didn't make the cut. They're so nice. I thought, oh, we're going to have to make more of those. And that's why the favourites became the favourites.
Well, that's it.
Yeah,
and you've got the favourites featuring at the top here. Now, the favourites will come on their way to you if you're going for the bundle of everything, which means that you're going to get over 190 sheets spread over your 8x8s as well as your 5x7s. But these are absolutely beautiful. I think it's showing that so easily those scenes can be built just using those wonderful papers that Barbara has created for us. We're very, very busy for these as well, Barbara, so thank you for sharing that with us. Approaching half the stock has gone of these now, so at 589644, absolutely beautiful. And don't forget, if you're going for them as the details on your screen there, you will get Barbara's favourites there as well. Don't forget, do check out your folders as well, because we've got the folders available for you in a duo, which means that you can keep them, because obviously your 12x12s, not your 12x12, sorry, your 8x8s will fit in here perfectly. They'll keep everything neat and tidy, as you can see. And of course, you can detail on the side here that it's paper, and you can actually put the initial letters of the pads there as well. And you'll notice you can use these for your parchment, so you might want to get yourself an extra couple of sets, because when I show you the parchment deal that we have got for you, you will want to keep those parchment papers pristine as well. Details on your screen for your folders, the details coming up for this amazing deal that we've got with these parchments. It's half price deal. Look at this. You have got some of the originals. Northern Lights, it seems such a long time ago that Northern Lights came to be. It's still one of my firm favourites, Barbara.
It's very much so, and it's also it's really what started it all off. You know, Northern Lights and Indian Summer were the first pair, weren't they? And Northern Lights is very Christmas. It's that kind of, I remember using red, blue, green, yellow. Those were my 4 colours that I went to, and you'll see everything else in between. But those, I literally took maybe six alcohol ink colours, and then I stayed with those colours. And when you blend them, of course, you know, the purple comes from the blue with the red and so on. So I literally took the prime colours, and that's what Northern Lights is. And then Indian Summer is exactly what it says. It is Indian Summer. It's lighter, it's brighter, it's florals. It's the one that would go beautifully with all the flower.
Oh yes, of course.
The flowers poppets. That would be my connection.
Well, here you can see that kind of original replication of those Yupo papers that Barbara was working with. And it's one of those techniques that sometimes people don't necessarily have the Yupo papers, the alcohol inks, or they don't necessarily want to create them themselves, Barbara. I mean, you are bringing us the opportunity to get those results instantly by using the parchment papers.
That's it. And the thing is that the parchment papers, now any parcher will know, so you're getting 48 sheets in a pack, and there are 2 packs in a bundle. So you're getting 96 sheets of designer parchment for £25.
Absolutely.
Is
fabulous
right?
price. That is, yeah.
Yeah,
96 sheets, and they're good size sheets as well. They're 8x8, so you're getting all of those for just £24.98. Absolutely amazing. And of course, this particular pairing is 2 of the originals, Northern Lights and Indian Summer. We've also got another pairing for you, which is a lovely Shenandoah and Rainbow River. And again, these kind of continued the story with regards to those colours being laid down in the results. But again, 96 sheets, and again, a fabulous half price deal, £24.99. And these are gorgeous. I mean, you can see the bright tones, as you can see there, from Rainbow River. And this is an actual place, isn't it, Rainbow River, Barbara?
Rainbow River, yes, it is. And I've never been there, but when you look it up, it is absolutely unbelievable. And the colours, it's the stones in the river, and the colours as when the sunlight hits it, it's just I need to reread it, but it's quite spectacular. It really is these colours, Rainbow River.
Absolutely, and I love
it's in Latin America.
Absolutely
just incredible.
Gorgeous. And again, the vibrancy of the colours throughout these, again, 4 repeats of each of those. And of course, the papers, or should I say the parchment, colour filled from one side, which means that you do kind of get 2 variants as you work your way through. And I know many of you will have watched the launch show and will have seen Barbara pull out some of that colour earlier on, because that's another one of those fabulous techniques we see regularly from Barbara. They're just beautiful and such a brilliant price, Barbara.
And you know, I mean, hour for hour, pound for pound, the mileage that you're going to get there. And what you were just saying about the launch idea, again, this is just that simple, that you stamp on the dull side, you flip over, and then you can take the colour out with a white eraser pen from the back. And that way you can literally, you can take colour out and then reintroduce colour so that you get a true reading. It really is beautiful. And of course it's parchment, so this means all your embossing, your white work, it's parchment. It's exactly that. So you have all the properties that you have with normal parchment, except you've got these glorious colours.
And on this occasion, you're getting 2 pads for the price of 1, so even better reason to get hold of them.
Can't believe it.
Now, the details on your screen for your Rainbow River and your Shenandoah, 811955. Barbara, we're going to stick with you if that's okay and head straight into your first demo.
I'd love you to.
So what are we up to?
And what I was gonna suggest as well, if it's okay with you, is that there's one thing I wanted to flag up, talking of parchment or tracing paper. Can you hear me okay, Hayley?
Yeah, go for it, yeah.
Okay, good. One of the things that I wanted to show, something that I did before I started. Right, let me go back to the beginning. When you get the stamps, the little ones, they come on an indexing sheet. This is how they come. Right, so automatically you've got a positioner. For me, this is like a template.
Of course.
So say I want to decide where it would sit. You see, I can move it around, and I know where to place it on a piece of designer paper or something like that. Now, with the large ones, they also come on indexing sheets, but they come on individual ones. Well, sometimes you want them all together. And so what I did was I literally stamped them. I used parchment but you could use tracing paper. It was just, I wasn't thinking straight. But, you know, parchment obviously works as well. And so what I've done here is I've stamped it. Now that means, and I've done it for all 6 of them on one piece. So this is like my indexing. Do you see?
Yes.
And I literally stamped them all on A4 parchment or tracing paper. You need something that's translucent, that's see-through. And then that way, let me show you, for example, I'm going to go to Andy's artwork. I saw this and I thought, yep, that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to use Andy Duggan's artwork. And what he's done is he's just walked the brayer. It's a technique that we do in our workshops. And I'm going to show you how you can take, for example, a brayer and some paint, and you can walk it up the side of a piece of card, and you can get the most beautiful grungy effect. Isn't that lovely?
I love that idea. Now, Barbara, if we wanted to create our own little kind of pieces like you just showed us with your tracing paper or your parchment, what sort of ink should we be using?
Black archival.
Okay.
You definitely want to use a permanent ink pad.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I tend to use, when I'm working on parchment, I'll always use black archival. Thanks for asking.
Wonderful.
Yeah, no, absolutely smart.
I love the sentiment as well.
I just wanted to explain that you can... Sorry, dear, say that again.
The sentiment, is that from the stickers that we've got on the show as well?
Yeah.
I love that.
Bob's sayings. Yeah, you got to be careful what you wish for. Sometimes you think, I wish I didn't have to work so hard. And then you think, hang on a minute, don't even think it.
That's it, rewind, I'll take it back.
Think it. You know, the next thing you know, you won't have a job.
Well, this
So
is
you've got
it.
to be careful what you wish for.
You do indeed. And the details are there for anybody who wants to get hold.
Isn't it?
It is so true, yes.
You know, always got to think about what you wish for. So yeah, I wanted to show you. And the idea, what I was trying to explain was, let's say I'll show you how to do it. But let's say I've walked the brayer on a piece like this.
Okay.
Like that. Right, so I've already walked the brayer. I'm going to show you how we walk the brayer. But then I want to decide, well, which one do I want to sit on there? Do I want that one? Do I want that one? So I've got my template, and I can decide where I want to place it. Whether do I want to walk the brayer? You see, I think that would look quite nice.
Yeah.
And then I could put the toadstool there.
I've just noticed the frog.
Or maybe she would sit really nicely there. But it's a lot easier if I've got a template and I can decide now whether it's on designer paper, designer parchment, or even on a piece of mixed media painted grunge. If I've got my templates, it helps me so much, Hayley.
You know really what I mean? Top tip, that one, yes.
And so that's worth doing, just stamping them out. And the other thing is, when you do stamp them out, you get familiar with the images as well, you know.
Well, this is it.
And that's not a bad thing either.
Well, exactly, because one of the ones you were just showing us, where you've got one of the little characters sitting on the toadstool, I'd not noticed the little tiny frog that was with her when we were first looking at these. And you look at them in closer detail, I think, when you do stamp them out and you're concentrating on those images.
And you know, when you stamp them out like that, I just want to show you as well. If, for example, the little mouse here on the present. Oh, hang on. Look, see the little mouse on the present? If you don't want to use the little mouse on the present, just put a Post-it over that on the stamp. Look how easy it is.
Perfect,
you literally take the stamp, you mask it out, you ink up, you take that away, bosh. And then you haven't got that little, or if you want to move him over, or you want to use this with this one.
Good point.
You know,
yeah.
It's easy. Then you mask the girl off and you just ink this up.
Yeah.
So sticky Post-its are really good for that, you know.
Love it.
Right. So
we're getting all the tips in this hour. I'm loving this.
I know. Piling it in. We're working with paint, so we're going to use a craft mat.
Okay.
And we're going to walk the brayer. So it's just a little something. Let's have a look. I'm just going to stand up for this one. And what we want to do is take a piece of stencil card. Let's just take a piece of our stencil card.
And this is a fabulous card. We've got this on the show as well, I think.
Right, and I'm going to use acrylic paint. I haven't used paint for ages. Look, I'm taller than that, really, but because I sit there. Right.
You're going to kind of hover now.
Check it well. We're just going to make a blend, because this green's too dark, this yellow's too yellow, so we put it together and we get a nice blend.
Now, I think we've got these paints on the show as well. Oh, yeah, Viva Decor, nice brand.
So what we're going to do, so we're just going to put, we don't want too much, that'll do, just a little peaful.
Okay.
And then we'll add a little bit of yellow in there as well, just because it lightens it a bit. There we go. Okay. So we can mix the two colours. You can always blend. It's same as inks. You can just blend. That's why we've got blending mats. Cool. And then we'll take a brayer. Here we go. Right now, and what we're going to do is just spread the brayer out, like lift and separate. Can you see this all right?
Yeah, I've got it perfect there. Thank you, Barbara.
Right. So we're going to do that, and now I've got this on my brayer now. This is my brayer for green paint, as you can tell. Actually, it's for all paint. It's my painty brayer. I wouldn't use this with ink. Okay. And then what I'm going to do, right? Let me just show you this, because I don't want to. I'm going to do a wheelie, and what I mean by that is I want to make sure that I haven't got paint on this edge. This is what I would call the guiding line. Okay. So as I come up here now, see. I'm not pressing hard. I'm just walking up the paper. Okay. Just walking up the card. Can you see that?
Yeah.
And then I'll go back and get a bit more. Mm-hmm. Okay. And then I'll walk again. And now, because I don't want to stripe, I'm making sure that I haven't got any ink on there. Now,
so when you're picking the paint up, Barbara, whereabouts on the brayer is it sitting?
Right there, in the middle.
Okay.
So I'm avoiding, see, I'm just avoiding putting it on this edge, because that way I don't get a stripe. Now I can go back in again and add a little bit of yellow, say. right? Oh, right, let's just add a bit of yellow now. Let's see if this works. I mean, this is just play, really, isn't it?
Well, that's what we like to do with you, Barbara.
I love it, especially at 8 o'clock at night. This is 5 this morning.
I know you've had a busy old day with us today.
It's mad, yeah. It's all right, though. I don't mind this at all. I love this. Right, so you can see now, the reason I put a bit of yellow down is so that you can actually see the difference, the colour, where it is.
Got you.
Yeah. So now, as I come in, I'm changing the tone, look.
Yeah.
See? So now I'm changing the tone. And if I wanted to, I could walk the brayer that way. Look, see how I'm getting a bit of an edge now?
Yeah.
So I'm actually turning the brayer. It's just an easy way. We often want to get that kind of grungy look and we don't know how to get it.
Yeah.
And walking the brayer through paint is really, really easy. So you don't want to overcook it. You can always add it, but you can't take it away. So if I move this out of the way now, and let's sit with that for a minute. This dries quite quickly. This paint dries quite quickly. Now you can see on Andy's, there's a bit of yellow going on. Let's have a look. See the yellow?
Okay, yeah.
So we've got choices. We can either let that dry and then go more yellow and walk the brayer through with yellow, or another way to add yellow. I wonder if this is dry yet. Probably. Good enough anyway.
Okay.
You could take your brush.
Oh, okay, right.
This is so you can take a stencil brush and you can use an ink. See, the thing is that the acrylic paint, it acts like a kind of to me, it's like a block. All the white is still the card, isn't it?
Yes.
So when I go over the top, what happens is the green stays green, but the white goes yellow. It acts like to me, it's like a plastic tablecloth acrylic paint.
Yeah.
And it's great because you can see how I'm changing the colour completely.
Yeah.
See, I can come round here now, and I can see this is where the brushes come into their own because I can get a really lovely. What do you always call it? A vinaigrette?
A vinaigrette, I do, yes. A vinaigrette, yeah. And one thing that I
can
always...
get a smashing vinaigrette going.
This is it. And one thing that I always remember, whenever we have a show with yellow ink, I always think of you saying about keeping one of your brushes true for your yellow. Don't use it for your shades of.
Absolutely. So see how you can get a beautiful vignette with the brush, and you can get that really grungy effect with the green, with the paint, and it's entirely up to you. Yeah, and you're absolutely right, Hayley. When you get the brushes, they come in a pack of 4. I've got them here. Ta-da!
Perfect.
Right? Yeah, they come in a box of 4, and they're smashing brushes. They really work beautifully. Let me get them out. Oh, let me just pull them out of here. Right. Oh, okay, I'm getting them out of the packet now so we can have a look at them. Let's investigate them. And you'll see there are 4 different sizes, okay? And they're like sash brushes. So they're pointed. They're great. You can get real detail on them, and they come in different sizes. This is stainless steel so it doesn't rot. Doesn't rust.
Yeah.
And this is bamboo, so it doesn't rot. And what you'll find is they're really a good price, but they're brilliant, and but they're washable because they're nylon. Thing is, with the yellow, which is exactly what you're saying, if, say, for example, I washed that, and then I went to use it with a blue one, like there's no way. I'm going to end up with green.
Yeah.
There's no way that will go blue. It will end up green. And yellow, you'll end up with orange. So yellow is always good to keep yellow. Yep. And the rest, if you wanted to, you can wash them. I don't. I've got one for every occasion, look.
I love it. And at that price, you can do.
Yeah, exactly. So I just happen to have the blue one in my hand, right? So I'm showing off now. But you can see, if I come in, let's take the blue one. If I come in off the edge, see how I'm getting an edge? I haven't added any blue.
Oh, okay.
I'm just I'm dry brushing. But you can see that even with a dry brush, I'm getting that really cool edge. So there's they're brilliant, these brushes. We've been using them for years now, and you just can't beat them, really. Look, see how I'm tying it all in now?
Love it.
So if you
had it long enough, you'll start to see meadows.
Yeah, well, it does. It looks literally like that. It's like the horizon, isn't it, on a sunny morn?
Isn't it cool? And so now, going back to what Andy was doing, what we're going to do now is we can take our parchment and we can say, right, so which one am I going to put in this picture? Am I going to put her there? Am I going to use her? Am I going to turn? See, this is where your template really comes into its own. Where do I want to put what? Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
It's so important to know which way round. I mean, I think that way is the way to go.
I
on
love
this one.
that scene, yeah.
The grass. Do you agree with me?
Yeah, definitely. I do like that. And I kind of had a hankering going towards the one with the little toadstool on there. But it doesn't matter which one you work with, because you've kind of got, and I noticed that when you were just showing you were auditioning the different pieces there, that you've got some facing to the left and some facing to the right as well. So you can build up your own scenarios.
Of course, she'd be lovely. She'd be lovely.
Ah.
Wouldn't she be pretty? See, she would be lovely. She would be lovely. This one is gorgeous. Right, I'm sticking to the plan. Right, we're going to stick to the plan. Okay, so I'm going to ink this one up. And again, you see, because we're stamping onto acrylic in part, I see Andy, he stayed away from the paint,
yes.
which looks beautiful, doesn't it?
It does.
But I'm gonna stamp into the acrylic, so I need a permanent ink pad, because bearing in mind, like my analogy of a plastic tablecloth,
yes.
if I used a dye-based ink, like say I used an artistry ink like this,
yeah.
literally, if I stamped it on here, I could just wipe it off like a plastic tablecloth.
Yeah.
Because they're water-based, aren't they?
That's
so
right. Yeah.
It
It kind of pools, doesn't it? It just sits on the surface.
Exactly. So what we can do now, I'm going to stamp into here like that. There you go. So I'm just going to lean on there like that. See, because I'm working with the piece that I actually started on. So, you know, I probably would cut it back a little bit, trim it back a little bit, or, yeah, I mean, there's so many possibilities, aren't there? But really, I just wanted to explain. Look, isn't that pretty?
And I love that, because, of course, you're working with the Whimsy, which are all the ones with the little fairy wings.
Yeah, it's nice, isn't it?
Cute.
Really nice. And then, again, with colour, you see, because we've got acrylic paint in the background, you do need a wax-based, or if you used a watercolour pencils, it wouldn't work so well. But you see, with the pergoliners or the polychromos, I can go over the top. See, this is quite gritty because it's acrylic paint. It's got a really lovely texture. But if I go in with the blending pencils, the pergoliners, I think we've got them on the show.
We have. We've popped the details up on the screen there, Barbara, and this is nice because you get them in a box where you are getting your aquarels alongside those fabulous, well, you got a blending pen in there as well to help you along your way. Just £29.44, very affordable for you to get with your one-day special. And of course, if it is going in with your one-day special, then you can spread your cost of everything with those. So 930278, and they're just a lovely range of colours, these, Barbara.
I think what's great with them is because you've got the blend, you've got both, you've got the best of both worlds, because you've got the aqua, so you've got water soluble in one end, and then you've got the blending pencils, which are like polychromos in the other end. So at the moment I'm using blending pencils, but you know, pound for pound, dollar for dollar, these are very, very good value. I mean, they're Pergamano, you know, and again, it's got nothing to do with parchment.
Well, we had this conversation, didn't we, earlier about the actual markers that you were working with. Just because they've got the Pergamano name doesn't mean that they are just solely for use with your parchment.
That's it. And also, again, because of this sketchiness, and this is real arty, grungy now, I feel quite comfortable, and I'm quite, I'm one of those real pedantic colourists, you know. I can spend an hour on a feather. Trust me, we will be tomorrow again in the Shack. We're on the Eagles at the moment. Wait till you see what we've done with the Eagles, girls and boys. They're going to love it. I'm so excited. I said to Dave today, because everybody's waiting to see what we're going to do in the background. We colour in the Shack every other week.
Now, for anybody that's not come across now, how do you say Shack? Shack. The Shack.
Shack.
Right, okie dokie.
And it stands for safe, happy and creative. Stay home and craft.
Oh, that's fabulous. And we can find this on social media.
Every day at 10 o'clock in the morning on Clarity, on Facebook Live, I spend an hour in here in my little shack, and hundreds of us get together and we doodle and we colour in. And when the lockdown started, it was quite frightening for a lot of us, wasn't it?
Yes,
Nobody
yeah.
really knew what to do. We were just all told, stay at home, don't leave your houses, don't buy any more loo roll, there's a crisis. You can't go shopping anymore, and there's no toilet roll in the whole of the United Kingdom. You know, and so and we were like, it was quite frightening. It was frightening for me, and it was frightening for a lot of our community, the crafting community, because of course a lot of our friends are vulnerable. They come under that at-risk category.
Yes.
And so I just felt at the time, I said, you know what, we just need to shepherd and make sure that everybody's okay.
Oh.
And
it's carrying on as well.
And it just turned into this amazing community. And every day we get together at 10 o'clock. And still a lot of us don't know, are we allowed? This is why I'm working from home.
Very confusing.
Because of my parents. And, you know, there's still a lot of us who don't know, is it safe to go out or isn't it? I don't know. Is it, Hayley? I don't know.
Well, who knows? Now,
You know,
Barbara,
and
can I steal a moment of your time? Because I've actually bought out some cards using the exact same stamp that you've been working on there, but showing the variation of effects that you can get with it. So you can see the little fairy there with the little bunny rabbit that Barbara is working with. But again, what you can see from this one is who's done this one? Deb. Deb has been creating with this one, absolutely adorable. Again here, I think this one was Jane, wasn't it? Jane's done a sepia tone using the exact same stamp. This one, a lovely little scenario has been built up again by Jane there, using the different fairies together. And then, of course, you have got those little tiny ones that are going to work alongside. And this is one that Sheila has created with those. So they are a fabulous collection, Barbara. And you've got your 6 main characters that we've been chatting about. Of course, you've got your individual stamps, just as Barbara has been working with on that example there. But then you have got your set of those smaller ones all coming together. The Whimsy has been a very popular one, Barbara. A third of the stock has gone, and we had huge quantities of these ones as well. The flower, the flower one, rapidly approaching half the stock of that one as gone.
I'm so glad to hear it. And when you look at the artwork, like now, I've just taken 3 colours from the pergoliners, and this is where we digressed and I went off on a tangent about the shack. But that's it. You see, we're just doodling and colouring and sketching, and when you finally see where we're headed, it hasn't taken long. You see, because they're so sketchy, that's what I mean, is that you can just roughly colour in, and it's just the same as what Andy's done, bless him. Isn't that great?
Beautiful. And the thing is, when you get a moment to craft, you don't always have a final vision in your head. You might start off with your brayer and those colours and not really know how it's going to come together, but it shows that they are so adaptable that it doesn't matter where that journey starts with these designs, then you end up with something beautiful.
Absolutely, and I think that's half the joy of it. I just wanted to show, though, that you can use paint just because they're Pergamano. They come under the Pergamano brand. It's got nothing to do with it. To me, these stamps are every bit as mixed media and arty, grungy, vintage as the next thing. It's not only parchment art.
And I think you're so right with that, because that Pergamano name, you tend to think of the delicacy, don't you? But as Barbara just showed you there, that's not necessarily so. Barbara, I'm going to let you get ready for your next demonstration, if that's okay. Well, I give you guys a little bit of a recap there. We were just touching on the whimsies there that Barbara was working with. And, of course, the whimsies have got those fabulous little wings on there as well. But then, of course, you have got your flowers. And the flowers are featuring within each one of those stamps. Also, you've got additional elements. So this is where you'll find things like the gifts, the presents, the birthday cake featuring in these, the gorgeous little watering can that's being held in these images as well. And you can see here whether it's a posy you're using, whether it's petunia with that birthday cake, or whether it is a little petal that you've seen there. Absolutely adorable, each and every one of these. They're gorgeous. But then you have got the smaller versions, as you can see over here. And this is where they work beautifully well together. That is the key thing with these as well. So if you fancy this particular option, then you can can do. 870614. But there is a third option with those details on your screen there. That's the Christmas one. And these are adorable, absolutely beautiful. And again, you may have seen these when we did our Christmas event a little while ago. Or you may be seeing these for the first time, whichever way, they are gorgeous pieces. And again, you've got your 6 main characters. So this time we are looking at a fabulous little pumpkin. You've got Pud and Prue there, Paloma. You've also got Presh, and you've also got Pearl featuring in here. And they are adorable. Whether you're working with those small pieces or whether you're working with the larger characters, it doesn't matter. You are going to get some fabulous results each and every time. And that is the beauty of working with these. They are simply adorable. £49.99 is your one-day special price. You're saving £15 on these, and you can spread the cost over 2 payments. 870614. I would suggest you add in Barbara's relations to your basket. I don't mean physically picking up a mum and dad and putting them into your basket. What I mean is going for these sentiments here, and this is using Barbara's own hand script. They look adorable, and you can see so many different scenarios. You've got step, you've got uncle in there, niece, nephew, grandson, granddaughter, all of those different names that we use daily when we're making our cards, featuring within here, as you can see. So a really nice collection, beautiful handwriting as well. And of course you've got the kind of, is it the suffixes or the pretext of a great there, so you can do things like your great granddaughter and so on. You've also got your months, and for me the months are brilliant when you're working with a planner as well, because you could actually use those with your planners. And then of course you have got your numbers featuring there, so if you are wanting to use them for those landmark birthdays, then you can do, and your ordinals there along with your happy birthday as you saw. So if you fancy those, pop those into your basket. They're only £24.98. Something else that's a very affordable bundle is this one that we've got here, where you've got your Antarctica and your Amazonia. Now you've got your 8x8s in both of those, and you've also got your 5x7s, and those are your designer card toppers as well. Beautiful. And as a big thank you from Barbara and the team for going for them all together, you are getting Barbara's favourite papers featuring there as well. £22 saving, rapidly approaching half the stock has gone of these, £39.92. You can go for them individually, but most of you are going for them all together. Now, I can't believe I'm saying this, Barbara. We've got 7 minutes left. Where's that time gone?
I don't know. I don't know, but I'm happy.
Are you happy? I've had a lovely time.
Can I show you one more little demo?
Yeah, let's go for it.
Okay, so this is Dee Paramore's, and I just fell in love with it, so I want to kind of dissect it and show you how it works. So if we look, for example, let's have a look at Dee's work, and you can see here, I know. So she's taken one of the little tiny poppets and she's stamped it onto one of our stamp boards, and then she's brought out with by clever shading, she's made the image pop just by adding a backdrop with a grey pencil or a black pencil. Isn't that beautiful?
That is beautiful. And this is using your stamp board? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So it's on the counter as well.
Yeah,
and
I've got the details on the screen now.
We got it in hearts, in squares, in circles and in triangles, which is brilliant for bunting. And I just wanted to show you what Dee's done is, she's stamped into the centre. So I wanted to show you 2 options. If I take the little image that Dee has used, for example, again, I'm going to use black archival ink, and I can stamp straight into the centre. I just want to give you the dimension. So this is the largest of the hearts, if you like.
Okay.
And I'm just going to stamp her straight into the middle. So this is one of the little baby poppets, one of the from the A5 set. So you can see she sits exactly like that. Now, let me take one of the larger stamps. I'm going to take one of the Whimsy girls, and I'm going to stamp her onto the same size, but this time I want to stamp her off the page, because I'm right into this partial art where you only use part of an image.
Well, that's a nice phrase.
Let me show you. Partial art instead of martial art, yes. And so we're just going to stamp. I'm going to forget about the legs. So she's flying into the heart, if you see what I mean. And then you can just, there you go.
Beautiful.
So you can see, it doesn't matter which one you go for. Let me just take that away. They're both going to look fantastic, aren't they?
They are.
And what I wanted to show you, just the dots are easy. Literally, all you're going to do, if I take one that I've already started, you literally just add dots with a red pencil. Look,
That's that. Okay, that's how that's done. And then you highlight, you just spot colour. So in other words, it's just taking little areas like the underskirt or the stripes, whatever you fancy, just to tie that in. And then the other thing is to take a grey pencil, and this is the key, and this is what takes the time, is to go in and pull the background out. So Dee, thank you very much for your inspiration. I was really impressed with this. So that works beautifully, right? You just, by colouring in the background, you bring out the foreground, you see? So
Clever
it just makes it pop.
Yes. Very clever and achievable.
And the other thing I want to show you is the around the outside, to create the outside, you need a Sharpie pen. If you look at Dee's, she's come in quite heavily on the outside, so it looks really like it's just fabulous. And what I wanted to show you was how you can build up that outside as you come round like this, rather than as you come round. Let me show you. You have to come a few times, but instead start leaning towards. Normally you lean the other way. This time we're going to start leaning in.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And what will happen is you'll start, see how it's starting to come round?
Yes.
So that's the idea, is that you're actually leaning into the heart rather than away from the heart. And you just keep coming round, and your pen is coming over and over. So eventually you'll start to come over the inside. And then this top area here is quite difficult to get into with a fat Sharpie pen. You're going to use your micron pen, and you're just going to gently come in and tidy up that V there. And then that will be your heart. And Dee, as far as I can see, what Dee has done is she's come in even more on the front, so that it ends up looking really naive, if you like.
That is beautiful, and it's such a fabulous use of those shapes. Those shapes, perfect for those.
It's quite a quick demo, but it's simple, but it's so effective.
And I think that's the key thing. When you've got fabulous artwork, then it doesn't matter what you do. I mean, you've shown us, and the design team have shown us, whether you're just simply taking those designs, adding the minimal amount of colour, and just adding a background paper to them, or, as you showed us with the parchment there, stamping them onto the parchment and pulling the colour out. I mean, such fabulous techniques, not overtaxing, things that people could do as they're novice, they're kind of just getting started with these, but they're still the results that look absolutely amazing.
That's what I think as well. You know, you don't have to be. It doesn't have to be complicated to be beautiful. And these stamps, when you ink up with a black archival ink pad, and you just place that beautiful image on a piece of white card, the image speaks volumes. You don't have to do too much to it, and that, I think, that is testament to the artwork. And
I think that's it, and that's exactly what I've got here, just finishing with those final images from the fabulous Whimsy set that we've got on the screen there. And as Barbara quite rightly says, the simplicity of just a simple black outline on a white backdrop, and these look absolutely beautiful throughout, as you can see here. And of course, absolutely gorgeous designs. Now, Barbara, are you back with us again tomorrow?
8 o'clock in the morning.
Oh,
do you know,
my
I was just going to
goodness.
say as well, Hayley, what you just held up, that black on white, looks fabulous. If you just put glitter, just took the Perga glitter with a mapping pen, the sticky ink, and just threw a bit of Perga glitter, wouldn't that just make a fantastic little set of notelets?
Absolutely beautiful. I mean, they're gorgeous to work with. And like you say, whether it's in their simplest of forms, just stamped out. And don't forget, stamping out in other colours as well. It doesn't have to be in the black. It could be in a gorgeous grey or a blue or a pink. You will still get those amazing results, and that's the key thing. It's down to the beautiful artwork, isn't it? And of course, don't forget, with that gorgeous artwork, you've got the larger designs. I'm going to bring in the smaller ones as well here. Absolutely beautiful. So just to kind of recap, you've got your 3 options with your one-day special. You've got your Whimsy, you've also got your flowers, and you've also got your Christmas. Those are your 3 different options. Now, of course, these are the smaller versions, but just because it's easy for me to show you in this format, the Christmas with your pumpkin, pud, prue, pearl, paloma and presh. And then, of course, you've got your gorgeous whimsical. These are the ones that have got the whimsy little wings, as you can see there. Whimsy wings, that's the way to remember it. They are just like little pixies, adorable, aren't they? And then, of course, the ones with the flowers, absolutely beautiful throughout. And I still adore this little petal down at the bottom. Barbara, it has been a pleasure again, as it always is when we work with you.
Thank you so much for your company, Hayley. It's been absolutely wonderful. What a weekend. I've got 1 more hour tomorrow at 8 o'clock. Are you in? No, you won't be in at 8 in the morning, will you?
I'm off for a couple of weeks. I've got 1 more hour to do here at Hochanda, then I'm away for a fortnight. So we will catch up in a couple of weeks' time, I'm sure. Barbara's going to head off now. I will see you the other side of this.